Before we introduce how Ethernet handles errors at layer 2, we want to look at the possibilities. What are the different ways that different protocols can handle errors? And there are 3 that we're going to look at. The first one we call forward error correction. The idea is that if I find an error, so let's say that here I find a bad 1 bit in here. Well, we know that there are only 2 possibilities. It can be either a 1 or a 0. So if 1 is an error, then I know that it should be 0 if it's because that's the only other value it could be. So I can go ahead and change it to 0 here, correct it, and that we just call forward error correction. The second one is we can retransmit. If I have an error, I could ask the sending device to just retransmit that. Now we don't do this in Ethernet at layer 2. However, layer 4 does do that at another protocol in layer 4. We'll talk about that a little later on. The third thing that we can do is ignore the error. I can just drop the frame. Well, this is indeed exactly how Ethernet works. It simply drops the frame. And at layer 2 anyway. Now layer 4 does detect the missing sequence number and it asks for retransmission, but at layer 2 the frame is dropped if an error happens. And that's it for the way that we can handle errors coming in.